Creating professional invoices and proposals is essential for any business. This ensures clear communication with clients, accurate billing, and a smooth payment process. An invoice or proposal should include these elements. Firstly, your name or business name should be prominently displayed, along with your address, city, postal code, email address, and phone number. Secondly, include client information such as the client's name, address, city, postal code, email address, and phone number. Thirdly, a unique invoice or proposal number helps with tracking and organization. Insert a number in the designated space. Fourthly, the date the invoice or proposal was created should be clearly indicated. Insert the date in the appropriate field. Fifthly, provide a detailed description of the services you will provide, including a brief explanation of each service offered. Sixthly, include the total amount of the estimate or bid for the project or services. Seventhly, clearly state the payment terms, including the due date and accepted methods of payment. Lastly, include an acceptance section where the client can acknowledge receipt and agreement to the terms and conditions by signing and dating the document. In terms of protocol for pre-work estimates and final invoices, follow these steps for the pre-work estimate. Firstly, create an estimate that outlines the scope of work, estimated materials, labor, and total cost. Secondly, present the estimate to the client for approval before beginning work. For the final invoice, after completing the work, create a final invoice that includes firstly, a detailed list of materials used during the project. Secondly, the labor hours and associated rates. Thirdly, any additional charges that were incurred. Fourthly, the total amount due for the completed work. Fifthly, send the final invoice to the client for payment. Here are some additional tips to consider. Firstly, use professional-looking templates or software for creating invoices and proposals to maintain a consistent and polished image. Secondly, keep a record of all estimates, proposals, and invoices for future reference and accounting purposes. Thirdly, be clear and concise in your descriptions of services and costs to avoid misunderstandings with clients. Fourthly, follow up with clients promptly to address any questions or concerns and maintain good communication. Utilizing software or templates designed for invoicing can streamline the process. These tools often offer features like automatic calculations, professional layouts, and the ability to track invoice status. When describing services, be specific. For example, instead of writing electrical work, detail the tasks performed, such as installed 3 new light fixtures, replaced faulty wiring in the kitchen, and upgraded the circuit breaker panel. This level of detail minimizes the chances of disputes and ensures that the client understands exactly what they are paying for. In your payment terms, specify the accepted methods of payment, such as cash, check, credit card, or electronic transfer. You might also consider offering early payment discounts to incentivize prompt payments. For example, 1% discount if paid within 10 days. When presenting the estimate, take the time to walk the client through each item and explain the rationale behind the costs. This demonstrates transparency and builds trust. In the final invoice, be sure to itemize all materials used, including quantities and unit prices. For example, 150 feet of 12-2 Romex wire at $0.50 per foot equals $75. Similarly, break down labor hours into specific tasks and rates. Diagnostic and repair 2 hours at $75 per hour equals $150. If there were any additional charges, such as permit fees or travel expenses, include them as separate line items with clear explanations. Ensure that the total amount due is clearly visible on the invoice. Highlight the payment due date to avoid any confusion. Sending invoices promptly after completing the work increases the likelihood of getting paid on time. It's also a good idea to send a reminder email a few days before the due date as a courtesy. Maintaining accurate records of all invoices and payments is crucial for financial management. This information is essential for tax preparation and for tracking outstanding balances. Consider using accounting software to automate this process and generate reports. Following up with clients after sending the invoice shows that you value their business and are committed to providing excellent service. Be proactive in addressing any questions or concerns they may have. This can help to resolve issues quickly and maintain a positive relationship. When creating estimates, consider the potential for unforeseen issues or changes in scope. It's a good idea to include a contingency buffer in your estimate to account for these possibilities. Communicate any changes in scope or cost to the client as soon as possible and obtain their approval before proceeding. This helps to avoid disputes later on. For larger projects, consider using progress billing, where you invoice the client at regular intervals as the work progresses. This helps to manage cash flow and ensures that you are compensated for your work in a timely manner. When presenting the final invoice, be prepared to answer any questions the client may have about the charges. Be transparent and provide detailed explanations as needed. If there are any discrepancies, work with the client to resolve them fairly and amicably. Building strong relationships with clients is essential for long-term success. Providing excellent service, communicating effectively, and being responsive to their needs will help you to earn their trust and loyalty. This can lead to repeat business and referrals. Remember that your invoice is a reflection of your brand. A professional-looking, accurate, and easy-to-understand invoice will leave a positive impression on your clients. This can help you to stand out from the competition and build a reputation for excellence. Always keep a copy of your invoices for tax purposes and for managing your business finances. Consider keeping both a digital and a hard copy for redundancy. It is also advisable to back up digital records on a regular basis to prevent data loss. When dealing with clients, be professional and courteous at all times, even if there are disagreements or issues. This will help to maintain a positive relationship and find a mutually agreeable resolution. Offering multiple payment options makes it easier for clients to pay you. Consider accepting credit cards, online payments, and electronic transfers in addition to traditional methods like cash and checks. Clearly state your late payment policy on your invoices. This will help to ensure that you are compensated fairly for any delays in payment. Consider charging interest on overdue invoices to incentivize prompt payment. When creating estimates, be realistic about the time and materials required to complete the project. Avoid underestimating costs in order to win the bid, as this can lead to financial problems later on. It's better to be upfront and transparent about your pricing. Always obtain written approval from the client before starting any work. This will help to prevent disputes and ensure that both parties are on the same page. A signed estimate or proposal serves as a contract that outlines the scope of work, costs, and payment terms. Review your invoices and proposals carefully before sending them to clients to ensure that there are no errors or omissions. Double-check all calculations and descriptions to avoid any misunderstandings. Consider using a cloud-based accounting software to manage your invoices and proposals. This will allow you to access your data from anywhere and collaborate with your team more effectively. Cloud-based solutions also offer automatic backups and other features to protect your data. When communicating with clients, use clear and concise language. Avoid using technical jargon that they may not understand. Explain everything in simple terms and be prepared to answer any questions they may have. Always document all communication with clients, including emails, phone calls, and meetings. This will help to protect you in case of any disputes. Keep a record of all agreements and decisions made during the project. Regularly review your invoicing process to identify areas for improvement. Look for ways to streamline the process, reduce errors, and improve client satisfaction. Get feedback from your clients on your invoices and proposals. Ask them what they like and what they think could be improved. Use this feedback to make your invoicing process even better. Remember that your invoices and proposals are an important part of your brand. Make sure they are professional, accurate, and easy to understand. This will help you to build trust with your clients and grow your business. Consider consulting with a business advisor or accountant to get help with your invoicing process. They can provide valuable insights and guidance. They can also help you to comply with all applicable laws and regulations. When creating invoices and proposals, be sure to include your business license number and tax identification number. This will help to establish your credibility and legitimacy. Always follow up with clients after sending an invoice to ensure that they have received it and that they don't have any questions. A simple phone call or email can make a big difference. Be patient and understanding when dealing with clients who are having difficulty paying their invoices. Work with them to find a payment plan that is manageable for both parties. Avoid resorting to legal action unless it is absolutely necessary. Maintaining a positive relationship with your clients is always the best approach. When estimating costs, be sure to include all direct and indirect expenses, such as materials, labor, equipment rental, insurance, and overhead. This will help to ensure that you are pricing your services accurately and profitably. Consider using a job costing system to track your expenses and profits on each project. This will give you valuable insights into the profitability of your business. Regularly review your pricing to ensure that it is competitive and that you are making a reasonable profit. Adjust your prices as needed to reflect changes in the market and your costs. Always be honest and transparent with your clients about your pricing. Avoid using deceptive or misleading tactics. Building trust with your clients is essential for long-term success. When presenting your proposals, be sure to highlight the value that you offer. Explain how your services will benefit the client and help them to achieve their goals. Focus on the results that you can deliver. Tailor your proposals to the specific needs of each client. Avoid using generic templates. Show that you have taken the time to understand their unique requirements. Be responsive to your clients' questions and concerns. Answer their questions promptly and thoroughly. Address any concerns they may have. Be proactive in identifying and resolving potential problems. This will help to prevent delays and cost overruns. Communicate regularly with your clients throughout the project to keep them informed of your progress. This will help to build trust and ensure that they are satisfied with your work. Celebrate your successes with your clients. Acknowledge their contributions and thank them for their business. Show them that you value their partnership. Continuously improve your skills and knowledge. Stay up to date on the latest industry trends and best practices. This will help you to provide your clients with the best possible service. Be a lifelong learner. Invest in your professional development. Attend conferences, workshops, and seminars. Read industry publications. Take online courses. Network with other professionals. Share your knowledge and expertise with others. Be a mentor to younger professionals. Give back to your community. Participate in industry events and organizations. Be a leader in your field.